I just used Claude and Clipchamp to build this stickman video in just over an hour. And not just the script. Claude built the editing plan, planned the scenes, suggested the visuals, and even put it together, with minimal interaction from me. I'll show you how it's done. The first thing you're going to want to do is enable Claude in Chrome. To do that, go to Customize. Then Connectors. Go to Claude in Chrome and click on it. Then you click from Disable to Enable. To break it down, Claude can use either the desktop controls and interact with the Clipchamp desktop app, or it can interact with the web app. Using the web app through Chrome allows it to read the code of the web page to better understand what the app is doing. If you use the desktop app, it takes a snapshot of your desktop to approximate how to click each area, which is more of a guessing game for it. Now you're going to want to open up your Chrome, go to clipchamp.com, and log into your account. This will ensure Chrome is ready for Claude to interact with it. Now we'll go into Claude Cowork and describe what we would like Claude to do. I'll say, I would like to create a video in Clipchamp. I have my Stickman images in the Downloads folder. I would like you to take a look at them and come up with a story for these images. There are 15 in total. Create your own script, and you'll be using TTS. And we'll hit Enter and let that run. You will likely be prompted to give permissions to the folders that you describe in your prompt as other folders along the way. Now, full disclaimer. I've run this 3 different times to prep for this video. While doing that, some workflows were inefficient and took a lot more time. Right here, Claude is analyzing each image to understand what's happening in every scene. Now, back to the workflow. I've simplified the entire process into a step-by-step template that you can customize for your own projects. Feel free to check it out. I'm also putting the finishing touches on a custom Claude skill to automate even more of this workflow. As soon as it's ready, I'll link it in the description and pinned comment. Now, a lot of this process is simply waiting while Claude does the work. But once you've dialed in your workflow, you can start it and let Claude do its thing. Okay, so Claude has analyzed all of the images, and now it's coming up with the script and the scene order for each. And there we go. Claude has organized everything for us. Each scene is matched with the correct image, along with the narration and the text-to-speech for that scene. Now Claude is prompting me to review the script. I'm happy with it, so I'll just say, yes, build it. While Claude is working, I want to mention something important. AI tools like Claude are incredibly powerful, but be careful what you give them access to. I'm not saying AI is trying to take over the world, but if you give it too much freedom, it can absolutely make changes you didn't intend. I learned that lesson the hard way. I was working on a website project, gave Claude more access than I should have, and it completely took my site offline. I'll be sharing that story in an upcoming video, along with a few best practices, so you can avoid making the same mistake. Okay, Claude is now about to start to import the images for the video into Clipchamp, so it is prompting me to help it import the images. At first, the file picker didn't show up, so I'll click number 2, that the dialog box didn't open. I made sure nothing else was open that could possibly conflict with what Claude was trying to do in Clipchamp. As you can see, that time it worked. Claude is asking me to import the project files, so I'll select them and click Open. This step will likely become more automated over time, but for now, we'll just follow the prompts. Notice the banner at the top. That's because Claude is using the web page debugger to analyze the page before it takes action. Also, you see the orange glow around the mouse pointer and browser and the extra tabs at the top. That's Claude in control. Oops, I forgot to click that the file picker displayed, and I was able to import the images. So I'll go ahead and click that. Okay, done and imported. Now, whenever you see it taking a screenshot, Claude is analyzing the current layout of the page. It can make sure it's laid out correctly based on what it's doing. It can determine what the image is. And it uses it to calculate its next click, among other things. Okay, now let me switch over the Clipchamp, where we'll start to do the work. Again, notice the gold mouse pointer as opposed to my black and white one just above it. If you see the banner at the top, Claude started debugging this browser. It is looking at the code to understand the layout. It then uses that info to figure out what it needs to do next. Okay, it looks like it is about to start creating the text-to-speech boxes. You see it open up the text-to-speech pane. It then pasted the text into the text box, and then it saved it. This is taking a while. Let's switch back over to Claude to see if it is stuck or what it's doing. Nope, it looks fine. Let's see. Nope. Okay, now it's clicking on the duration of the audio clip. It's going to use that to determine the duration for the image. And now it's down at the timeline zoom out button. And it looks like it's getting ready to add the second text-to-speech box. You notice it places the time bar at the end of the first text-to-speech box. Then it clicked on record and create, and then down to create text-to-speech. I've sped this up a bit because it seems like it's taking a lunch break. Let's go back over to Claude and see what it's doing. Seems like it is about to paste the next section. Let's see. Well, it's pasted the text into the text box, and the pointer is hovering over the save button, but it also still has the debugger on. I don't know. What do you think it's doing? Up. There we go. It just finally saved. This part is going to take a little while. I'm going to 4x the speed and stop it when significant things come up. Okay. It looks like it went to create a new text-to-speech clip, but it accidentally placed it on another timeline. Let's see how it handles it. It's interesting because it bases placement on estimated coordinates. Did you notice that? Looks like it didn't like it and went ahead and deleted it. Okay. Remember, this entire process took just over an hour. You're watching parts of it like this at 16 times speed. But imagine kicking this off, grabbing lunch, answering emails, or working on your next project, while Claude handles the repetitive work. That's where the real value is. Well, looks like it has all of the text-to-speech laid out. Just FYI, it took about 7 minutes for the rest of the text-to-speech boxes to be created. Now, it can move on to placing the images. Now this is taking a while. Let's switch over to Claude to see what's going on. Scrolling down, it looks like it's processing all of the clips. You see 2 through what? Clip 15. Okay, it says all the text-to-speech boxes was created successfully, and now it is adding the images matching them to the narration timing. Let's see if we see that. It took a little while, but looks like it found where it needs to go. You see the pointer up in the top right-hand corner clicking on My Media. Now it has all of the images ready to be placed on the timeline. Okay, it looks like it placed the first image onto the timeline. Now let's watch it update the duration of the image to match the voiceover. Notice the pointer clicking on the duration just above the image. And just like that, the duration is updated. The image itself is just a black line stickman with a white face on a transparent background. So Claude needs to figure out why it is displaying the way it is and fix it. Okay, it looks like it is about to update the background color. Well, I'm not exactly sure what it did there, but obviously Stickman is now on a bright white background. It's interesting that it knows what colors to use and what not to use as well. Okay, it looks like it just selected all of the text-to-speech boxes. Interesting. Who thinks Claude's going to delete it all? It looks like it is a little hung up. Let's check and see what Claude is up to. Okay, it's not telling us much except that it is working with the playhead time display. If my memory serves me correctly, it struggles here for a while. So I'm going to speed through this part. Oh yeah, this time it incorrectly places the next image. Let's watch it fix it. It looks like it simply deleted it. And there it places it again. And now it's fixing the duration. Watch me sneak in there and try to help it by moving play bar. But it didn't help. Right now it's struggling to find the gap delete button. Let's see what it shows in Claude. Well, it says finding selected image clip start time. It must be figuring out where exactly the image should be placed. Placing the rest of these clips took another 30 minutes to complete. And while I was watching, it was a struggle to not take over and do it myself. I set the speed to 16x speed so you can see some of the mistakes it made and how it fixed it. In most cases, you'll see that it slowly, very slowly, pulled the image to the left to sit next to the adjacent image. If you're still here, I want to tell you that I appreciate you sticking around. And I hope this video helps you a lot. I've been using Claude for quite a few things, and to tell you the truth, the ideas just keep on coming. The hard part is staying focused on that one project. Like I said, this takes a while as it repositions each image. Now you might be thinking, if this still takes over an hour, how is it saving time? The difference is Claude is doing the repetitive work. Instead of spending an hour clicking, copying, pasting, organizing, and building scenes, you're supervising the process instead. That frees you up to focus on the creative parts of making videos. And while Claude was working on this project, I had a chance to do a few chores around the house. Not my favorite, but you get the point. Now, a few things I found that help when having Claude construct your video. Give Claude very specific instructions. Break large projects into smaller steps. And always review the output before publishing. The better your prompts, the better the results. One thing that surprised me was how well Claude organized everything. Instead of just generating a script, it thought through the scene order, matched images to narration, and even planned how the video should come together. Okay, it looks like all 15 images are placed. Let's see what it does next. Well, it looks like it is still trying to figure out the exact placement on the last one. Okay, it looks like Claude thinks everything is placed where it should be, but it's obvious some things are off. Do you see it? Comment below if you do. We'll wait a few minutes and see if it takes care of those issues, or if it leaves them in. Okay, it looks like Claude's starting on transitions. Let's take a look at Claude to see where it's at. Okay, yeah, it says, now let's add crossfade transitions between the clips for polish. I've changed the speed to 8x on this, as it works on the transitions. This was another 5 minutes or so of work. While this is going, can you notice anything odd about how it is coming out? I'll give you a minute to think about it. Okay, did you figure it out? If not, take a close look at the transitions. When a transition is placed, you'll see it stick in between the two clips that it is transitioning between. None of the transitions are sticking. Did you see that? It was almost like it clicked the transition again and removed it. All right, now it looks like we are on the final stretch. It thinks everything is good, so it wants to export. Well, it looks like it left some gaps between clips. Let's see what it does with them. Let's take a look at Claude. Oh, looks like it's compressing the conversation. This, as you probably know, takes a few minutes. Well, looks like it figured out the gap issue because it appears to be proceeding to export. It was interesting because in my initial template, part of what it should ask is what quality should the export be. It never asked. Claude basically apologized when I asked why it didn't do that or a few other things and advised it had accidentally skipped over some things. Okay, it looks like it is about done. Let's see. Yep, it's done. What did you think? Is it something you can work with? Well, if you want to speed up the process, I have a Claude skill I'm working on that I hope to have available soon. Check out the description for details. Also, if you've never set up Claude before and you need to get started, the next video will teach you just that.
Meet Stick. Just an ordinary guy with one very big day ahead of him. Today's the day he finally starts that project he's been putting off for weeks. The ideas are flowing. This might actually be easy. He barely stops to eat. Nothing can break this focus. Feeling good, Stick steps out for a well-earned breather. Then it hits him. Did he just delete the wrong file?
Yep.
Hours of work, gone.
And he is not happy about it.
He yells at his computer like it's going to apologize back. Wait, the deadline is tonight. He completely forgot.
Panic sets in.
There is no time left to waste. Exhausted and defeated, he starts to think it's hopeless. For a moment, he just wants to give up entirely.
But he takes a breath.
One step at a time, he tells himself. Somehow, someway he finishes it. He actually did it. And with that, Stick finally gets the rest he has earned.